Hello guys, so this is part 2 of the extra class recap. So on the extra class we've went as far as drawing the ellipse, right? So as I promised that I'm going to do a video to just explain what you might have missed in that extra class, right? So for the ellipse, like I said, you will be given the measurements for your major axis and for your minor axis, right? Always. So what happens is, let's say we want to draw an ellipse in our minor axis. What can we say? Let's say for now it is 80, and then our major axis is 160. Now the ellipse can be oriented this way or the other way. It really doesn't matter. What matters is for you to know that the major axis is the bigger one, the minor axis is the smaller one. I believe that's just common sense, right? So I said the first step that you're going to take there is to draw your Cartesian plane. Now you can draw this Cartesian plane using just a light line, or you can draw it using just center lines, right? So I'm just going to stick to just the Cartesian plane for mine, right? Now that is my origin. I'm gonna call it point O. Now they say the minor axis is 80, right? Meaning from here to that side is 40, from here to this side is 40. So I'm just going to measure that. I will use my protractor to do that. Then you just place it right there. Mark there. Mark there. The other one they said is 160, meaning from the origin to either side is 80. Place it there. Mark there. Mark the other side. So now I'm going to call this A. I'm going to call that B. I'll call this C. I'll call that D. All right. So now let's start drawing it. Okay. Now, step number 1, you are going to draw. You are going to draw a line from A to C. That's step number 1. Draw a line from A to C. Step number 1. Just like that. Now you can do this on the other side, because that's a question I usually get. You can also do this on the other side, right? I just prefer it when it's on this other side, right? You can do it either way. So now you take your compass for step number 2. You extend it to point A like that, and then you draw an arc until it cuts that vertical line right there, right? And that intersection right there, you're gonna call it point E, right? Now you can also take it from this side like that. It's still gonna be the same thing, right? And then step number 3, you take your compass, you place the compass needle on point C, right? Place your compass at point C, the compass needle, and then you extend the pencil side to point E. Just like that. And then you make an arc like that. The intersection of this arc and line AC, right there, you call it point F. Step number 4, you are going to bisect line AF. Now, we usually see a common mistake among students. They attempt to bisect AC. Please remember, you are supposed to bisect AF, right? Now, you take your compass. When you are bisecting a line, you are supposed to open your compass to more than half that length, right? And then you make an arc like that. Then you lift it, put it on the other side like that. You make an arc just like that. And then you draw a perpendicular bisector. Now this perpendicular bisector, you are supposed to draw it until it intersects the vertical line. All right, should be fine right there, just like this, right? So now mine did not intersect. That means I have to extend that line. Extend it just like that, right? Now this intersection, so by the way, I think I forgot to mention, they call this method a 4-center method to draw the ellipse, right? Meaning the goal of these center lines is to find those 4 centers, right? They call this the 4-center method. So now this intersection between the perpendicular bisector and the horizontal line, it is your center number 1, right? The intersection between that perpendicular bisector with the vertical line right there where I extended, it is your second center, right? So you are supposed to determine the other center number 3 and center number 4, right? To do that, it's much more effective if you use a compass like that. Place your compass and then you extend it to center number 1. It will be on the same position on the other side, right? And then you take that measurement from 0 to 1, and then with it you make an arc on the other side, and then that will be your center number 3, right? For the other one, you do the very same thing. Place your compass right there, extend it to center number 2. I hope you have a bigger compass. If you don't have a bigger compass, remember I taught you about scales. You are supposed to use a scale and scale this ellipse down. Reduce it so that your compass will be able to accommodate it. So that intersection will be your center number 4, right? The following step, you're supposed to join or draw a line from 4 passing through center number 1. Like that. Then you also do the very same thing this side, from 4 passing through center number 3, like that. And then from center number 2 also passing through center number 3, right? Shouldn't be that hard. So now you have your constructions, you have all your centers. Now it is time to draw your ellipse. Now you take your compass first. Now we are going to center number 1 first, right? Center number 1, you place your compass needle at center number 1, right? You extend the pencil side to point A, like that, right? And then you draw an arc. Notice where my arc starts and ends. Starts right there and right there, right? Don't forget that. Now going to center number 2. Well, by the way, you can move from center number 1 to 3 or 4, whatever. No? I'm just using the sequence. Doesn't really matter. Now you see my compass is beginning to not want to get there, but fortunately it did. So now gets there. It's supposed to pass through C, right? So you extend your compass from 2 to C, right? And then you join. Right? I think while I still have these measurements, let me just take it to the other side, right? To number 4. And then it's supposed to pass through D, right? Place it right there. It is okay. It is slightly above D there, but that doesn't really matter. Don't stress too much about it. If you encounter something like that, just finish your question or your test, submit. Don't start over. It really won't change anything. Now you place your compass right there, extend it to B, or just extend it to there. It really doesn't change anything, right? Or extend it to the other side. It doesn't change anything. Then you draw. Right. So that is how you draw an ellipse. They call this the 4-center method. Thank you.